What are some of the biggest challenges for developers? Number one, consistently learning new things, like new frameworks, new technologies, new languages, just to be on the leading edge of things, just to be job relevant and be ready when time comes to apply the new learnings to your own work. Number two, learning as quickly as possible because we have deadlines to meet and we would like to learn as quickly as possible. Number three, mastering your craft, which involves understanding more complex patterns, proposing better and elegant solutions, architecting bigger and better systems. And finally, number four, making others better by teaching them what you have learned and giving them feedback through code reviews. You see, everything boils down to getting better every day at learning and practicing. Hey, how you doing? I'm Anurag and I create videos on software engineering and productivity. The good news is that there is one very popular book that seems to have the solutions to these challenges. The book is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It provides a framework backed by research to improve every day through the power of habits and environment design. The biggest challenge in productivity is perhaps breaking bad habits and forming new good ones. For example, avoiding social networks and focusing on work. The book's premise is that overnight change is impossible. Change only 1% every day. Yes, just 1%. The book revolves around the power of small but incremental changes and their cumulative effect over time. Here are my key takeaways from the book. The power of tiny gains. We often strive for major breakthroughs or radical changes. However, consistency trumps intensity. Anytime, any day. So 1% each day will compound over time. For example, spending just 5 minutes every day reading unfamiliar code in your own code base or others' code bases will make you better at understanding more complex design patterns and coding styles and make you a better developer. As another example, learn a new concept every day for just 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes every day. After a month, you would have learned at least 15 or 20 new concepts that you can apply or start applying in your own work. As the last example, read one article every day on coding and productivity. Even if you cannot do it every day, try doing it at least 3 or 4 times in a week. Just imagine how much knowledge you would have gained after a month or 2 months of that practice. To make it easier for me, I use Mozilla's Pocket application. It's at getpocket.com to save any interesting articles for reading later. And when the time comes, I have a ready list to pick an article from. Habit stacking. You can develop new habits if you anchor them to existing ones. As an example, committing to reviewing documentation for just 5 minutes immediately after lunch, where lunch is your existing habit, something that you cannot live without, so you'll be doing it consistently every day. If you anchor a new habit that is reviewing the documentation that your team generates or you generate, there's a high chance you will stick to it. Another example is spending 10 minutes exploring new programming languages before you start your workday. Environment design. Do not entirely rely on your willpower. It's a very limited resource. Instead, organize your workspace to promote good habits. What does that mean? For example, remove all distracting objects from your room and make them inaccessible. So if you find your phone to be a distracting thing, like most of us do, just put it in another room and set aside some time in your day, like 2 to 3 times when you will be checking your messages. Example number 2, place a notebook on your desk permanently. Use it to materialize all the useful thoughts. So if you're having some good ideas, don't let them linger in your mind because they will be eventually forgotten. Record them in the notebook. There's something about writing. It forces you to reflect about what you're writing and make it permanent in your brain. Similarly, dump distracting thoughts. If you're thinking about Tom Cruise or his recent movie when you're coding, it's a good indicator that you should just dump that thought in your notebook and revisit when you have time. Example 3, try a standing desk. It will make it easier for you to walk and think. Focus on identity. Start identifying yourself as a problem solver. So if you believe that you are a good problem solver, and if you can make others believe that you are good at problem solving, chances are high that you will be motivated enough to eventually become a problem solver by designing your day, designing your habits in that direction. Remember, each 1% improvement is a vote for your desired identity. Track your progress. Visualizing progress can help maintain motivation. As an example, track your coding hours, bug fixes, code reviews, put them in a spreadsheet, and revisit your metrics every week, every month, or whatever works for you. The idea is to reflect how you are doing, progressing in your journey, and take inspiration from the numbers that you have put aside. You could also try journaling your work every day, especially if your day involves not outputting mounds of code and taking inspiration from the work that you have done, but doing something intangible. For example, like a project manager or a technical team lead. So if you document everything that you were able to do, for example, helping other teams, helping your own team members in some things, doing your one-on-ones, taking those notes, it will help materialize the kind of efforts that went into your day and derive satisfaction from that. Of course, this discussion cannot be over without discussing what worked for me the best. The first and most important thing that worked for me was tiny improvements each day with consistency. That helped me become better at work, better at reading books, and better at tennis. Secondly, environment design to support my identity. So to remove all distractions, I've nuked all unimportant applications from my phone. I've also turned off notifications by default, with the exception of phone calls and important messages. I simply cannot wait to hear what worked for you and what did not after applying these insights. Thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe if you would like to hear more from me in future. Until the next one, adios.